Hello there everyone, Martin Tin here again. Today I'm going to give you a very short lesson. We're going to cover some basic necessities for guitarists, and this is really a beginner's guide. Basically I'm going to give you a few tips on what you should do and what you need for when you're starting guitar, in terms of resources, equipment, and where you should start, what kind of approach you should take when you're learning and practicing stuff. So let's just get started. Now I'm sure you're probably wondering, especially if you're someone who's watching this and you haven't even started playing guitar yet, and you want to play guitar and you're sitting there like, well, what do I need? What kind of things do I need to start guitar? Well, I'm going to show you exactly what you need. These are the basic necessities that every guitar player should have. First off, probably the least important as a beginner player, but still relevant, a guitar strap. This is what you use to put on the guitar when you're standing up playing, when you're performing on stage at an open mic, or if you just want to practice playing the guitar by standing up. This is what you use to hold the guitar while standing up without having to hold it up, because you can't play and hold the guitar at the same time, so this is what you need to use to do that, so it'll hold it up for you. And also you can attach the strap to the guitar on the metal bits on the back end of the guitar, where they can put attach these guitar straps, and this bit here is for adjusting the strap. And every strap is slightly different. Not all of them have the exact same strap design, because they're all made by different companies, but they serve the same purpose. So you can strap bigger or you can make the strap smaller depending on what size you are. Next up, a guitar lead, or a cord as some people call it, to plug your guitar into your amp. A good one for a tenner. This one cost me a tenner, so get one of these if you are going to get an electric guitar. If you're getting an acoustic guitar, you won't need an amp, so you won't need to buy a guitar lead. So that's the one exception. Unless you like my guitar is actually an electric acoustic, you can plug a lead into here, so you can plug it into a PA or an amp. So if you have one of those, you can have a lead as well. But generally, if you have just got a straight up an acoustic, you won't be able to use a lead, so you don't need one. Next up, picks. This is just one, but you get loads of different types. I'm just showing you the one now. Get lots and lots of picks, regardless whether you're a beginner or a advanced player. Make sure you have lots of picks, because you will soon realise that picks just grow legs and they walk away. It's just the way it is, especially if you are prone to dropping picks all the time. Once it's on the floor, you'll never find it. They all seem to disappear. So make sure you have lots of spare picks, and you get various different thicknesses. This is a light one because it's quite bendy, but you get medium ones which are more suitable for rock music. Or you can get the really heavy ones, which in my mind is more suitable to either metal or bass guitar players, because you can use a pick for playing bass as well. But it's really each to their own. There's no one you should start off with, but I'd recommend as a beginner you start off with a light pick, so you can get used to the technique. Then you can, if you want to get a thicker one afterwards, then so be it. Next up, we have a guitar tuner. This is the one on my phone. You can see that. Make sure you have a tuner, whether it's an app, an actual tuner that you clamp onto the guitar, or I believe you can also get those ones where you plug it into using a guitar lead. As long as you have one type of tuner, it doesn't matter which one you use, they all do the same thing. As long as you have one, that's the important thing. And believe me, you need it. Staying in tune is important, people. Next up, we have a metronome. Again, this is the one on my phone, using the same application, and this basically provides you with a means of practice, and it helps you keep your timing in check and build up speed with your playing. I'll demonstrate quickly what it does. So as you can hear, it basically, all it does is creates a click sound and a constant beat. So basically it acts like a drummer. Imagine a drummer playing the hi-hat. But the idea is so that it could help you get your timing in check. You're able to play consistently, and you're able to build up speed, and it'll just make you a good player. So make sure you have a metronome as well. And if you're going to be playing electric guitar, you're probably going to want a practice amp. Now this is my Fender amp that I use for my Telecaster. It is not exactly cheap, I'm going to lie, but you can get cheaper amps, and you don't really need an expensive amp to begin with, especially if you're a beginner. If you just need an amp to practice but you don't want to spend too much money, you can probably get one on Amazon for about £100 or $100. It really depends on where you are in the world, but £100 is what I paid for my very first amp, which I can't show you because I no longer have it. But the point is, amps are not that expensive if you do some research and find the right one. And over time, when you have more money, and when you build up your skills, and you feel like you're going to take guitar seriously, then buy a more expensive amp like this one. But make sure you have one if you are going to be using an electric. And last, but certainly not least, probably the most important thing about starting guitar, you're going to want to get a guitar. Now this right here is my very first guitar that I got when I was about 14, and it's a piece of junk. It sounds horrible because the strings haven't been changed in a while, the action is kind of questionable, and it doesn't really have an overall great sound to it. But that's all. You don't really need an expensive guitar to start guitar. In fact, I would say you're much better off as a beginner starting off with a cheap, crappy guitar that again, like a cheap amp, only costs around £100, maybe even cheaper if you're lucky. You can buy second-hand ones for a little under £100 as well if you look in the right places. And that's all you need to start a guitar as a beginner. Get a cheap one, and then over time, when you develop your skills and if you want to take guitar further, then save up the money to buy a more expensive one, and you'll be able to, the rewards will speak for itself. Now there's a couple of questions that I want to address about starting guitar as a beginner. And these are, what things should I start off playing to develop my skills, and how long should I play and practice every day on the guitar? Well, let's start off with the first one. When I started playing guitar, when I was about 14, 15, I started off playing really easy songs like You Shoot Me All Night by AC/DC, any song by Blink-182, Green Day, Oasis, any songs that just pretty much only use power chords or your basic open position chords. Because when you're in the beginning, you don't want to make things complicated. You don't want to try and play anything too technically difficult. Start off simple and start off by learning some easy songs that don't require too much technical ability, don't have a lot of hard chords and scales and melodies to learn. Start off simple, then over time build up the technicality of the songs that you're learning, and you'll build up your technique over time and your repertoire of songs. Secondly, how long should you be practicing for as a beginner? Well, I would say make sure for a start that you're practicing every day if you can. If not, then at least 5 to 6 days throughout the week, and about half an hour throughout every day, or every 5 to 6 days through the week. That's pretty good. If you want to do longer than that, that is even better. Just do it for as long as you want, as long as you're doing about half an hour. If you do less than that, or even 20 minutes is okay, but any less than that, then you're really not going to develop very fast, and you're going to find you'll lose your motivation for learning, and you'll just end up giving up after about a couple of months. In addition, I would also add that it's important to make sure that you're consistent with your practicing, and when I'm talking about playing every day, because you'll find over time that you'll have much better results in your development and progression as a guitar player if you practice for half an hour every day, then say if you played for like 2 hours one day and then play again for about 5 days, then another 2 hours, then you leave it another 3 days. You know, stay consistent with your practice routine, and while you're at it, make sure that you have some kind of organized schedule for practicing guitar. You don't have to necessarily plan it on paper as such. You can if you want, but basically as long as you at least make sure that each day in the back of your mind you're going to make sure that you devote half an hour or 20 minutes to half an hour on every day for the rest of your life, or for however long you want to play guitar. At least 30 minutes, but as long as you have this mental frame of mind where you always make sure that for 20 to 30 minutes or more each day you sit down in your bedroom or wherever it is you want to practice, and we have to get the guitar out and start practicing a song, a technique, or whatever. Then that is the most important thing. Being consistent is half, and being motivated is half the battle. Now, just to finish off the video, I just want to add one more thing as a final note. If you want to get good at the guitar, one of the best pieces of advice I can give you is that you have to have the motivation and the passion for playing guitar. If you don't enjoy it, and if you don't enjoy the workouts, enjoy playing the guitar at all, in any way whatsoever, if you don't like being expressive, then there's absolutely no point in playing guitar at all, because it's just like doing a job that you don't enjoy, and you'll start thinking of it in the same way. A job I don't like, or I don't enjoy it, but I have to do it because I need the money, or I need the money to pay the bills, to feed myself when I get home. You don't want to treat guitar the same way, because unlike a job you don't like, you're not getting paid to learn the guitar. Learning the guitar should be treated more as a hobby, a passionate hobby at that, or developing a new skill. And if it's a skill you don't enjoy, then you simply should not learn it. It's just as simple as that. However, if you do enjoy playing guitar, and you are determined and passionate about learning and becoming a good guitar player, then make sure you take all these tips on board. Work out a practice routine for practicing every day. Follow the tips I showed you. Make sure you get a guitar, obviously, all the other things that I mentioned in the video, and just start exploring, start learning new stuff, start being creative, and just enjoy playing guitar. I mean, probably the greatest thing about guitar is that because it's expressive, you're able to express yourself musically, and it's a really, really great outlet for stress or sadness, and we think we can all agree it's much better than, say, drugs. But anyway, that's all I have for this video today. Hope you found it informative, you enjoyed it. Check out my other videos for other more lessons on guitar and different skills and different songs. And take care, everyone. Have fun starting off playing guitar and starting your guitar journey. And take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.